you finished playing the first block. I'm just wondering what lessons you feel like you've learned from the first block, because I'm sure you're hoping to do better when you next.
We just need to play our game, basically. Like, we didn't show up, I guess nervous. We were a bit afraid of committing to some plays that had to be made. And it cost us a lot. I felt like only the last game we actually played, and then we even got a bit unlucky with the Kraber shot. But yeah, at the end of the day, we just have to reset. We know what we are capable of, and we just have to clear our heads and enter the second group headed to win.
How did you find the way the lobby played out? Obviously, international scrims, you played a lot of them, but we know the difference between scrims and actual tournament. Was today's games playing out the way you expected, or was there any surprises that you were expecting?
Like, I always play scrims in a way that I know that it's not realistic, and I kind of try to create a mental image of what is the game is gonna be. But I will say that there was a key component it's not that we didn't really know that it was going to happen, but we kind of oversighted a bit. Like, we should have thought about it and talk about it a bit more. But I think like I said, we're just gonna reset. We're gonna talk about it afterwards, and hopefully we are able to fix what we did wrong.
So obviously the last time we were in London for an Apex LAN event, you guys played really well. But obviously since then we've had the class system has entered the game. I'm wondering, how the changes to crypto that class system brought has impacted how you've approached this LAN compared to the last LAN in terms of a macro strategy.
Yeah, like we started to work on that on regular split, like we had to adapt. I would say it's definitely a bit different. And on Stormpoint we had to bring another play style into play. But I think we kind of ended up figuring it out. I think we, at this point, of course, like it's not as easy, because before any POI was good with crypto, like you could take zone basically everywhere. And now you kind of have to maybe force a bit. We got a contest in the last group. So it was things that we kind of avoided before, but now you kind of have forced to do it. And I think it's fine. I think we got it.
Would you say you feel as comfortable now as you did then?
It's different. Like, of course, like before we played like that for so long that you are kind of used to it. And it was a way that helped a bit the character itself, not only because right now you need a POI with beacon. And if you don't have it, it's very hard to take it, or like to take it and be a team that rotates fast. And at the same time, before you used to take a lot of zones in the middle of the games and always like try to find a breach. And right now the game is a bit different. We cannot rely as much on that information. We need to play with a bit more like the team fighting, like trying to get those god middle positions so we can make the different decisions. But yeah, at the end of the day, it's Apex. It's always changing. We have to evolve with it. And
So I want to ask, what difference has it made coming into this event, knowing that you've already qualified for champs? Do you think that means there's less pressure, or do you feel more pressure because there's extra expectation on you guys based on what you did last time?
It's kind of a mix. I would say, like, it's definitely a good thing. Like, you're in champs, and it's the biggest Apex event throughout the year. That's where everyone wants to be in. Of course, we want to be here. Of course, we want to win. But I will say that there is always a pressure to win, always a pressure to perform. Of course, that additional pressure wouldn't be good. Like, I don't think it's good for anyone. But at the same time, you never know. Maybe that extra pressure makes you play like even better, being more focused. It depends on the day, on the team, like player for player. But I'll say, like a little bit less pressure, but still pressure.
Are you keeping champs in mind when you're potentially choosing teams to maybe look towards, or are you just playing this event in isolation?
Yeah, I will say this event in isolation. Like we just go game by game, tournament by tournament. We don't really look much into the future. The preparation is always like in the beginning of the year, you start thinking about how you want to approach things, and when major changes, for example, we were talking about the beacon change and the classes. You start thinking how you're gonna play like Split 2, LAN. But at the same time, like you build up a game which is like it's your own game. You're building it step by step. You don't really think too much ahead, because then if you miss out, for example, if we were thinking about champs and we didn't get the top 3 in the last LAN, we won't be in this position that we are right now. So, yeah.
That makes sense. You obviously, fairly recently, you described yourself as the boss of the year. Do you feel like Acend are Europe's best chance to bring home a LAN title?
It's my team. I don't have another one.
Yeah.
Of course, like it's the team that I mean, it's the players that I work with. Like I wouldn't say that I have more chances with other players that I don't even work with. I don't even know how they are like on the day-to-day basis, and that's something that is very hard to say. Like I normally tend to think about what things that I can control, and what I can control and is the work that I put in the time and like the decisions that I make, and that's what I tend to focus. And like I really want to win a LAN, and for that I'm just thinking about working hard, bringing my best game every single day, and making the right decisions.
So you spoke about working hard, and something that we've been hearing a lot is dislike for the rank system. Sure, yeah, you've been on Twitter, you will. Yeah. One thing that we've been asking people is, how has that rank system impacted your preparation? Because usually, scrims and a boot camp or whatever are just a part of it. Yeah. Outside, then there's a lot of grind, there's a lot of playing ranked, working on things in ranked, but the system right now is very difficult. What is your take on the system, and how would you say that's impacted your preparation?
Well, like I'm not the best person to talk about it, because I'm the person that I think every LAN that I've been to in the last 3-4 LANs, I was like diamond. I don't even grind rank up, to be fair. Like if it was a good system, like we had a fairly decent system with Helm in the beginning of the year, the solo queue system. But other than that, like I just don't play rank. Like if I want to play if I want to improve mechanics, I play normal games. I play deathmatch, gun game. If I want to play like improve the team, I play scrims. If I want to improve like decision making and work towards a LAN, I VOD review, I study the game, I study other LANs, the other teams, and that's pretty much the work I put in. I think like ranked is good. A lot of teams use it, and you can see the teams that are better at team fighting maybe are the ones that grind it the most. But it's not like I don't think it's useful. I think like the way we approach the game, and at the same time, I really don't like ranked at all. Because like there's no substance on it. You're just like brainless 8 hours just running around like killing people if you're playing with full pre-made. And yeah, you can improve a bit, but the time that you waste for the improvement that you have, I would say it's not something that I'm looking for.
Do you think people put too much emphasis on hours played instead of things like VOD review and actually sitting down and doing out-of-game research?
Yeah, I would say that most people that choose the hours played instead of the VOD review only works because it's Apex. If it was any other esports, it wouldn't work. Like you have to put, like the work needs to be distributed, and you actually need to know what you're doing, and you cannot just rely on individual skill or like just the way like some people play the game. Because like sometimes you are just so strong at team fights, or like there's always an opening, there's always something, and you don't even need to think about too much of the game. If you're a controller, it's even easier. But yeah, like I will say, like people, some teams and even teams that are struggling to qualify to LAN, if they spend a bit more time studying the game, they will definitely do way better.
Finally, obviously you want to win, everybody here wants to win, but when you head back home to Portugal, what does a good result look like? Obviously the best result is winning, but what sort of target if you set yourself just to be satisfied and go, yeah, okay, we did a good job there?
I will say for me to be satisfied, like finals at least, that will be like the baseline. If I don't reach finals, I won't be happy at all. And then I will say, like, it's not about winning. One thing that I always say to my team is that I want to play the game and finish the final, say like we did everything we could, like we played our game, like the zones didn't came to us or something like that, like we did the best we could. Of course, you can always do a bit better, but like knowing that you were able to play your game, things didn't went your way, but doesn't matter if it's second, third, fifth, 10th, like anything. As long as we put in the work and we played our game, I think I will be decently satisfied.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much for taking the time.
Yeah, thank you so much.